Introduction. The Stoic path to understanding manipulation. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Did you know that every day in every interaction there's a hidden battlefield? It's the unseen struggle of manipulation versus authenticity where our minds and hearts are the prizes to be won. It's not just in the movies or dramatic novels, it's in our offices, our homes, and even in the palm of our hands through our phones. Now imagine navigating this battlefield armed with wisdom from the ancient Stoics, thinkers who understood the value of the mind and how to protect it. They taught us not just to survive but to thrive amidst life's chaos by holding firm to our inner citadel, our core of rationality and virtue. In today's world, where manipulation can come from anywhere and wear many masks, how do we apply Stoic wisdom to recognize these tactics and shield ourselves? Stay with me, and let's explore this together. We'll uncover the modern manipulations that test our Stoicism and learn how to use ancient philosophies to guard our minds and live with purpose. This isn't just about avoiding pitfalls, it's about building a life of authenticity, resilience, and true freedom. So if you've ever felt played, pushed, or just plain puzzled by the actions of others, you're in the right place. Let's dive into this journey of empowerment together, guided by the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, and transform the way we interact with the world around us. And before we embark on this journey together, I'd like to ask a small favor: hit that subscribe button. It's a simple click for you, but it's a huge support for us. Also, I urge you not to skip any part of this video. You're here because you're not like the rest. You're an exception, seeking not just to navigate but to understand and master the complexities of human interaction. Stick with me, and let's unlock these insights together. Imagine you and your friend are tight, right? Then there's this third person who comes along, and suddenly your friend starts sharing things you said in confidence, or worse, twisting your words to create a narrative that pits you against each other. It's like being back in a schoolyard drama, but with higher stakes because, as adults, the emotional fallout can be way more severe. You start to question your judgments, your friendships, even your sense of reality. It's as if you're playing a game where the rules constantly change, and you're always a step behind. The real kicker? Often, you don't even realize what's happening until you're knee-deep in doubts and feeling totally alone in the middle of a crowd. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca taught us the value of inner peace and the importance of understanding our reactions to external events. When faced with triangulation, a Stoic approach would be to observe the situation with detachment, recognize the manipulation for what it is, and refuse to let it disrupt your inner serenity. It's about realizing that while you can't control the actions of others, you can control your response. The Stoic wisdom also teaches us about the importance of direct communication and seeking clarity in our interactions. If you suspect triangulation, approach the people involved with honesty and openness. Often, bringing hidden things into the light can dissolve the shadows of manipulation. So remember, in the face of triangulation, your best allies are your sense of self, your ability to question the narrative being spun around you, and your commitment to maintaining direct and transparent relationships. It's not about avoiding the leak in your boat but knowing how to patch it up quickly and keep sailing forward, guided by the stars of wisdom and integrity. In real life, it manifests in situations where you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Each option laid out before you seems to lead to some form of critique or disappointment, effectively trapping you in a cycle of perpetual wrong choices. Here's a classic example. Imagine being encouraged to share your thoughts and speak your mind, to bring your true self to the table. So you muster up the courage, you open up, and bam! You're criticized or dismissed for doing just that. It's confusing, right? It's as if you're being told to jump into the pool, but the moment you do, you're scolded for getting wet. This tactic is a favorite for manipulators because it keeps you off balance. You start second-guessing yourself, your decisions, even your perceptions. The ground beneath you feels shaky because the rules seem to change based on the whims of someone else. Stoicism also teaches us about the dichotomy of control, a concept that's incredibly useful here. It's about understanding what is within our control and what isn't. Your actions, your responses, your integrity, these are under your control. Other people's actions, including their attempts to trap you in a double bind, are not. So when you're encouraged to speak up only to be criticized, remember that your worth and the value of your contributions are not determined by the reactions of others. They are determined by your own commitment to speaking and acting with integrity. The Stoic approach would be to recognize the double bind for what it is, an external challenge, not a reflection of your worth or abilities. It encourages us to respond not with frustration or self-doubt, but with a calm and detached assessment of the situation. Can you clarify the expectations? Can you discuss the contradictory feedback? If the situation remains untenable, Perhaps the Stoic practice of turning inward and focusing on maintaining your own ethical standards is the best path forward. This can be particularly insidious because it not only confuses you but can also make you doubt your own actions and feelings. For instance, if someone is feeling guilty about their own dishonesty, they might accuse you of being the liar. Or if they struggle with jealousy, they might insist that you're the one who can't be trusted. It's a defense mechanism, a way of avoiding the discomfort of facing their own shortcomings by making them about someone else, namely, you. Stoicism encourages us to question the validity of the accusations being projected onto us. Are they a true reflection of our character or actions, or are they a mirror reflecting someone else's issues? By maintaining a clear sense of self and staying grounded in our own truth, we can deflect these unfounded projections without allowing them to penetrate our peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to meet others' faults with compassion and understanding. Recognizing projection for what it is, a sign of someone else's inner turmoil, allows us to respond not with anger or defensiveness, but with patience and empathy. This doesn't mean we accept the projection as true or let it slide without address. Instead, we can gently but firmly refute the false accusations and, if possible, encourage the projector to reflect on their own behavior. The Stoic approach to dealing with projection also involves recognizing the limits of our responsibility. We are responsible for our actions, our integrity, and our responses. We are not responsible for carrying the emotional baggage that others try to unload onto us. This distinction is crucial for maintaining our emotional well-being in the face of projection. In dealing with projection, it's also helpful to maintain strong personal boundaries. Stoicism teaches us the value of knowing what belongs to us and what does not, emotionally, psychologically, and ethically. When someone projects their faults onto us, it's a clear signal to reinforce those boundaries to protect our garden from someone else's trash, so to speak. This manipulation tactic can pop up anywhere. In sales, it's the limited-time offer that pressures you to buy something right now. In relationships, it might be a partner pushing for a quicker commitment than you're comfortable with. And in the workplace, it could manifest as unreasonable deadlines that force you to make decisions without adequate information or consideration. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, distinguishing between what is within our power and what is not. When faced with time pressure, it's crucial to remember that while we may not control the external demands placed on us, we do control our reactions to these demands. We can choose to take a breath, step back, and assess the situation with the clarity and rationality that Stoicism advocates. Seneca emphasizes the value of time as our most precious resource. Yet Stoicism also teaches us that the quality of our decisions, how aligned they are with our values and rational understanding, is far more important than the speed with which we make them. Therefore, when someone tries to rush us, invoking the wisdom of Seneca can be a powerful antidote. It's about recognizing that the urgency is often artificial and that real opportunities, real friends, and genuine deals will allow us the space and time to make decisions that are right for us. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to focus on the present moment and act with purpose and integrity. This Stoic practice can be incredibly helpful when dealing with time pressure. By staying present and not getting swept up in the frenzy of a ticking clock, we can maintain our composure and make decisions that reflect our true selves and our genuine best interests. The Stoic approach to time pressure also involves practicing courage, the courage to say no, the courage to ask for more time, and the courage to stand by our decisions, even if they go against the grain of urgency imposed by others. It's about having the strength to resist the wave of immediacy and choose the path that aligns with our reasoned judgment and personal values. This tactic is particularly jarring because it plays with our basic human need for stability and predictability in relationships. When someone's behavior towards us is inconsistent, it triggers a deep sense of unease. We're wired to seek approval and a sense of belonging, so when these are given and then abruptly withdrawn, it leaves us craving more, trying to figure out the puzzle, and inevitably walking on eggshells. The Stoics teach us that our happiness and peace of mind should not depend on external factors, including the behavior of others. Seneca advises us to anchor our happiness in our own virtue and reason, rather than in the approval or disapproval of others. Epictetus reminds us that we have the power to choose our responses to external events. When faced with inconsistency, we can choose to stay centered, reminding ourselves that the only thing we truly control is our own thoughts and actions. This doesn't mean we become indifferent or uncaring about how others treat us. Instead, it means we don't let our emotional well-being be at the mercy of someone else's fluctuating moods. Practicing Stoicism in the face of inconsistency means cultivating a sense of self-worth that is independent of external validation. It involves recognizing that